Front of the first Ruben Uberia piece that he painted for North Shore CDC. We're in our offices at 96 Lafayette Street, and here we have the gorilla in the room. We call this the gorilla room for our conferences, which is pretty fitting. Ruben is known for painting gorillas, and this is because urban art, graffiti art, is not always allowed within the walls of galleries. So he calls that the big gorilla in the room. And the fact that street art is changing and evolving so much, he believes that it should be allowed within the gallery walls instead of just being painted on the outsides of it. So here we have the first gorilla that he painted for us. It's really layered and textured, which is a signature Ruben style. So you can see within the fur here, there are different layers that represent Salem and his upbringing in the Dominican Republic. So Ruben immigrated here when he was about 16 years old from the DR. Him and his family lived on Prince Street, right here in the Point neighborhood. He really uses his Dominican upbringing to influence his art. So we have some bright colors here. We also have these triangle shapes on this side. He calls those his origamis. So it's just a fun way to add some layer and texture into the piece, and you always see something new when you're in this room, which is great. Our office was our starting point for the Punto Urban Art Museum. There's many different artists in here. We have over 12 world-renowned and local artists featured in our office walls. That ranges from locals like Miguel Cruz to Ruben Uberia and even Baleen and Chor Boogie. But most of these pieces represent their immigrant journey. So a lot of the world-renowned artists that we've selected are immigrants from Latin countries, and they live either in Boston or around America now. So it's really great for us to show that immigrant journey. We also have Diablo masks. You can see one of those up here. It's right up there. It's called either like a duck face or the devil, but this is huge in the DR. It was found, we actually had some of these guys at our block party on the 30th, which was really fun. People dress up in these lavish costumes. They're very detailed, and they have masks over them. So the Diablo face is one of the masks that you'll see. And they have these ropes that they whip on the ground, and they have pots and pans that they bang, but it's all in good fun. This mural is painted by Golden. He is a Miami-based artist, but he immigrated from Venezuela. He started painting this image you see, which is the Virgin Mary. It's actually the Mexican version of the Virgin Mary, which is Guadalupe. So he started painting her because his son was very sick in a hospital. So he wanted to paint an image that would represent not only his Catholic upbringing, but wanted to have these good prayers towards his son. As his son started getting better, people started looking at his images that he was drawing and wanting to buy them. So he accredits this image specifically to the start of his artist career. The bright colors, Golden is all about representing happiness, and happiness through simple emotions and simple lines. Here you have one of his images that looks like it's just peeled off a sticker and placed onto a wall. Very simple, but an image that anyone, young or old, can look at and smile. So we're standing in front of CP1's mural. CP1 is a Miami-based artist, and he is an immigrant himself. So here we have these up-close eyes. He is known for these cropped images, and they're not always faces that you recognize. A lot of the times he takes his inspiration from old photographs. So these are either photographs dating back from the late 1800s up to the early 1950s, but he is all about getting that up close image. So he wants you to be able to see every detail. So every eyelash, every hair of an eyebrow, it's all about creating that up close perspective. He also created this frame around the mural. So he wanted to do that to, again, show that street art is this upper class form of art today. It has always been evolving, and now it's framed just like any other image would be within gallery walls. So we're standing in front of Spock's mural for the Punto Urban Art Museum. Spock lives in Spain, and here he painted an emoji man for us. What I love is that he utilized the placement of the window for our office to make it look like the emoji is holding a phone. So it's kind of a fun play on emojis and how we use them today in modern society. So here we have Punto's own fresh monkey. So this is a monkey painted by Crave, who's a Miami-based artist. You can see another one of his murals on Peabody Street, and this is one of his signature characters, so we're really excited to have a little piece of Crave here in El Punto. So this mural is done by Jeff Enriquez. It's the first one that he painted for us, and if you can believe it, it was done in just a day. It features his new signature look, which is this blurred image. It looks like you've just taken a photograph at night in a city, and the lights of the cars are kind of blurring the image. You can see that a lot in his work currently, and we're really excited to have it as part of the Punto Urban Art Museum. We also have great murals on Dodge Street. So this is on the Deschamps Printing Building. The first one that you might see is by Dos Ales. So Dos Ales is a now Miami-based artist, and he painted this great woman that has this mask over her eyes. So you really have to stand back. It's a very graphic image, and it's a great representation of the printing that's done in the building. On the corner of that, you can also see another mural by Adele Renault, who is a Belgium artist, and she is known for painting these really intricate pigeon feathers. So you see some bright purple and teal feathers there, and it's a really bright, welcoming point to the Point neighborhood. We're standing in front of Cipros's first mural for the Punto Urban Art Museum. Here he's featured Dali, Salvador Dali, the famous artist. He wanted to dedicate this mural to artists of the past and how they influence his work today. So here you have a super Dali. Cipros is known for creating these large faces with these exaggerated ears, but very detailed faces as well. The bodies that he usually paints are very small and very cartoonish. So it's fun to have one of his signature characters here with us. And then to the left of me, we have a mural by Hawks. So Hawks is a Miami-based artist who is known for creating these vortexes with his murals. So he usually paints with similar colors, and they all kind of have this vortex vibe, so it looks like you're kind of going into the mural as you're looking at them. What I love is that he works with graphic designers to create this moving image with his murals. So if you look on his Instagram or on ours, you'll be able to see just that. So we're standing in front of Chor Boogie's latest piece for the Punto Urban Art Museum. Chor is a San Franciscan who came out to paint this awesome love child. He is a part of an African tribe, so he wanted to influence his piece here with the teachings of the African tribe that he has joined. Here you can see a lot of the Earth's features. In his piece, you can see elements of earth, air, water, and fire. He wanted to represent that with the third eye, and with the two main eyes, you can also see a mother figure holding a child. So really touching elements in this piece, but it's all about the earth and how we're interconnected. The mural to my right is the original mural that kind of started this whole project. So North Shore CDC is an affordable housing nonprofit. We invest in neighborhoods to create thriving communities. And we started this concept of an urban art museum about 20 years ago. So this mural was created in 1997, and it was done by local Salem residents. So this was created because the residents in the Point, they didn't necessarily see themselves reflected in the art that can be found within the walls of museums. So they wanted to represent who they are. So they created this piece in panels. This is created very differently than the murals you see popping up around the Point today. They were done by local community members. They were done by brush, and the panels are individually placed up there. So the murals that you see today are all done with spray cans for the most part. You can see how an artist can transform a space with just a spray can, and it can be very different based on who the artist is and what they're trying to showcase. With this one, they wanted to have themselves represented, but they also wanted to have bits of their culture represented. So the Point neighborhood has been traditionally been an immigrant neighborhood since the beginning, when we had French Canadians in the neighborhood, and today when we have a lot of Dominicans and Puerto Ricans. People just wanted to have a way to represent who they are, and this mural kind of started that. So we had taken this mural down a little while ago for renovation. We just wanted to keep it restored and looking beautiful, and people were calling us saying, what happened to the mural? Where does it go? Like, where did it go? And we realized that there was a need for art like this in the community and the power that public art can truly have. So that's why we started the Punto Urban Art Museum. This was then followed up in 2015. We were awarded a grant by the city of Salem to bring Ruben Uberia, one of our featured muralists, out, and he painted these amazing crosswalk installations. So those were on Dodge and Peabody Street, and they were painted by him and local residents, and they featured local community members in them as well. So it was a great tribute to the community and the people that have built it to what it is today. So here we have a mural by Sylvia Lopez Chavez. You can see it's a little girl swinging with a bright sun behind her. So Sylvia Lopez Chavez is an immigrant from the DR, and she is one of the only Dominican women muralists out there today, and we're really excited to have her a part of our project. And you can even see some of her other murals featured in our office loft, which is great. So Sylvia wanted to showcase this image of a young child swinging, and she wanted that because she wanted people, when they look at it, to be able to remember what it's like to be childlike, to have this fun of swinging and that feeling that you get as you're flying up into the air. And she also represented that through the paper airplane that she painted in her mural. So it's really fun, childlike, and whimsical. Just next to that is a mural by Bakismo. So he is known for creating these chrome images. So he has painted anything from dogs to people dancing, and it's all about bringing some shine to a building that wouldn't normally have this bright image connected to it. So we're really excited to have one of his signature pieces here with us. And just next to that is a piece by Don Remix. Don Remix is from Puerto Rico, and he has painted a signature dancer here. You can tell that it's an old school dancer because of the hat and the buckles on his shoes. So he wanted this to be a piece that's not only a point for the neighborhood, but he wanted it to be a piece that Puerto Ricans know is painted by a Puerto Rican. You can tell that because of the rosary beads and the third bead within the image as well. So this truly represents the Puerto Rican lifestyle for him, and it has a fun tribute to their dancing culture as well. You may not notice this while driving by on Peabody Street, but we're actually standing in a hub of urban art. So behind me we have a mural by Golden. Again, he is a muralist from Venezuela who immigrated to Miami. He is all about expressing simple emotions through simple colors and designs. So here we have one of his signature pieces, one of his little monsters, as he likes to call them. And it's all about spreading happiness and peace to the Punto Urban Arts Museum. And behind it is a piece by Ruben Uberia. So this is called Anacawana, and she was this tribal chief, and he actually painted his sister's face to mirror the chief. So it's a great tribute to the community members here in the Point neighborhood. What I love is that this is a bust, so it's Ruben's way of saying that this is a mural that belongs within the walls of a gallery, and it's framed to show this higher class version of urban art, which is just great. And behind us is this really cool hidden alleyways filled with several different murals by Jeff Enriquez, Crave, and Cipros. What I love is that Cipros actually painted the artist Golden in his mural, so you can tell that it's an artist because of the fun splatter that he's painted on his shorts, and a tribute to Golden and his little monsters in the balloons that he's holding, which is just great. Crave and Jeff Enriquez, they both painted signature pieces that really can attribute to the style of art that they're painting today. So here we have 20 local artists featured. These are artists ranging in talents from just beginning and just painting their first mural to artists that have been painting this all around New England or the nation. So we're really excited to have this opportunity to share the local talent of artists around the North Shore. We're standing in front of Golden's mural for the Witch Doctor. This is a great mural because it has so many more of his little monster characters. Here you can see Boo from Monsters, Inc., but other characters that represent good fortune and good success based on Chinese characteristics for the Witch Doctor. The fence in front of it is this great opening to the Point neighborhood. So Golden wanted to paint something that's welcoming that also represents the neighborhood's history. So you have the Point in 3 languages, in English, French, and Spanish, to represent the 3 different immigrant communities that have been living in the Point neighborhood. Some murals that you can find in the Punto Urban Art Museum. There's this great one by El Sequis on Harbor Street, and this mural represents the urban jungle that is the Point neighborhood. There are these vines that are intertwined with fences that represent the earth and how it can relate to the urban nature that is the Point and other urban societies that El Sequis has seen over time. We're standing in the courtyard of one of North Shore CDC's affordable housing units. So this is on the corner of Congress and Dow Street. And here we have a sculpture garden done by Ruben Uberia. So these sculptures were laid brick by Ruben and community members of the Point neighborhood. And these images that you see are faces of people that have lived in the building or are currently living in the building. So it's a great representation of the Point's past and present. We saw a little piece of a hummingbird mural by Trek 6. He is an artist that lives in Asheville and Miami now, and he has painted a hummingbird because it's the only animal that goes forwards, backwards, upwards, and down. So he wanted to paint something that represented the past and the present and how it affects your future. And he wanted this to be a bright spot for the Point neighborhood and for the residents that live in our buildings. And he wanted it to be something that's kind of mindful so people can look at it and reflect on their lives as they're walking around the neighborhood. We're standing in front of Ruben Uberia's El Campesino, which is Spanish for the farmer. So Ruben wanted to paint a subtle advertisement for the Point neighborhood. This is a mural that represents the fact that the farming culture is disappearing from the American society and being taken over by corporate entities. The artists worked together to intertwine these murals as a way to say that the Point neighborhood has murals around every corner, and the Punto Urban Art Museum is found in every nook and cranny. But you have to walk around the neighborhood and really explore the Point to get to see the full effect of the Punto Urban Art Museum, but also understand the culture of the people living here today, as well as the great architectural details the neighborhood has. So we're on Congress Street, and here we have one of our original murals. Again, this is a piece done by local residents to represent who they are and their culture. Next to that is this great new piece by Belin, who's another Spanish artist, and he is kind of like a modern day Picasso. So he's all about distorting the body and having this abstract look to it, but having really detailed human characteristics as well. And the far mural is done by Okuda, and this is a rainbow cat. So Okuda is known for these bright colors and this really textured pattern that makes up the bulk of the cat that you see here. He just wanted to have some great nature scenes included in it as well, and we're really excited to have an Okuda piece in the Punto Urban Art Museum. The last mural that I wanted to point out is found in Espacio. So Espacio is our new community center located at 105 Congress Street, and this is a great space for local businesses and residents to utilize. It's a space that will have English as a second language classes. We also have dance classes, yoga, bingo, but things that residents really need as well. So we'll have lawyers come in and do immigration training with them and a whole slew of other great things that the community truly needs. And eventually we'll be opening it up for rentals as well. So people, if you have a party coming up and you don't have enough space in your apartment, feel free to rent out Espacio.